Hello, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio at Phocuswright Europe, and I am joined by Erez Bousso. He is founder and CEO of HolidayHeroes. Welcome, Erez.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Glad you're here. So let's start. We just covered, I think, not even a couple of weeks ago, the FTI filing for insolvency, one of the largest tour operators in Europe. Does that signal the end of the holiday package era?
Oh, no, that's not the end. I think I heard the same when Thomas Cook collapsed in 2019. Everyone thought that the package is dead. But I think that at the end, booking a holiday package just makes sense. It's simple and it's easy and it reduces a lot of stress when it comes to book your holiday. The only thing that we're seeing a generational shift that comes more from digitalization of those companies.
Okay.
The process, how to address the product, trying to sell a product to a consumer is not longer valid. Today is the consumer that decide what he wants to see and what he wants to book. And I think that those companies didn't do the shifting and still working with lots of inventory. And that's why the digitals are going to replace it. But in terms of the product, the package itself, it's just going to continue to grow.
Okay, so it's just that model in the middle there that needs a little tweaking.
Exactly. It's just the model and buying in advance inventory and then taking a full year to try and convince the consumer that this is the right holiday. That's old days.
Yeah.
We're living in a personalization era where people are choosing and defining what they want to book according to their preference and not to a tour operator preference.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting to hear your perspective on that. So let's talk, there's been significant growth in direct suppliers' market share in online travel bookings. What do you think about this? Is this an opportunity?
It's in the same time it's a threat, but it's also a big opportunity. So first of all, yes, we're seeing. I think since COVID, we saw that direct suppliers, so airline and hotels, have invested a lot in their digital platform and addressing more and more consumer. And I think also it comes from the events that are happening in the world that people are stressed and they feel that they better talk directly with the airline if they have a problem or the hotel. But that represents also a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity because airline and hotel at the end will understand that acquiring a customer, it's a different business, which is not their business. Their business is to manage airline or to manage an hotel. And when it comes to customer acquisition and retention, it's less their business and they're going to partner. But the opportunity is to bring value to this ecosystem. Because if you only sell hotel only or flight only, then what's the value you bring into the supplier? But when you bundle, when you're creating personalization, when you're bringing value to the customer, then they immediately feel the value and they're willing to join forces and get the consumer through other platforms. So yes, it is a big opportunity, because they understand today what it means to acquire a customer, but it's also something to observe. For any travel player, this is definitely something to observe.
Yeah. So I heard you use the word personalization there. And, when I think of that, I also think about all the talk, certainly at this event and over the last year, about AI and how it will transform the travel industry. How do you feel about that statement? And what is the intersection of AI and HolidayHeroes?
Yeah. So first of all, how do I feel? I feel that there's a big buzzword here all over, and everyone is speaking about AI. But when you dive deep, and we saw already some big players that immediately jumped into generative AI and so on. But the only thing, it just changed the search bar. So it's asking you the same question to the search bar. And if we really want to understand what AI going to do, it will improve the life, because it's all about improving the life of the user, of the consumer. And our customer will need to have more, again, coming back to personalization, more personal, more relevant offer from all of these that exist. But it's going to learn what is the best combination, what is the best flight. So this is one thing where I believe AI, yes, is going to improve the life and make it much more easy to find and book your holiday. And also improving the process of the company. How do we handle customer service? How do we handle flight changes? How do we handle cancellation? How do we make sure to provide much better experience to the customer? Yes, that's where AI is jumping. As regard to HolidayHeroes in AI, so we're finding AI almost all along. So we find AI in mostly today in our customer experience. So everything around customer service. How do we improve the relation with the customer? How do we make sure to give immediate response to high demand if there's a war somewhere or there's a COVID or whatever event? We need suddenly we have a peak of demand of consumer, and that's AI jump in and allow us to be much more productive and efficient. And when it comes to the customers, so we are going to transform our interface, allowing a generative AI assistant that is going to help the customer to better define what he like. I prefer hotel that have no kids. I prefer hotel that have private pool. And that's gonna make, again, his life much easier while going through this process of finding the best holiday.
Yeah, and able to present those preferences simply with natural language without having to choose drop downs. And
Exactly. So everything around filters, everything around that, I think we're moving to a world, and especially when it comes to the Gen Z, they're just growing with AI.
Yeah.
For them, it's going to be so natural just to say, I want to go to a weekend with my wife in Europe, and then getting the right offer in. And but I think that by itself cannot change the industry.
Right.
It's this with the right content and the right bundling and the right aggregation, all together can give results.
Okay. So as we're wrapping up, I do have to ask, you are innovating and creating a new company in one of the most challenging spaces, some would say, which is online B2C travel. How do you think you win in that space?
So first of all, I'm coming from the OTA space. I built some OTA. Some of them were very successful, some of them less. I felt that selling flight only or hotel only, I just felt that in this ecosystem, I'm not bringing value. So that's where HolidayHeroes was born, from a place of how do we really bring value? So there is a complexity here in booking holidays. People are frustrated when it comes to book their holiday. And how do we make it something much easier? So we're on a mission to make holiday booking simple and fun. That's what we want, exactly like your holiday. So coming from this statement, I think that once the product is great, once the customer service is great, and once you create a reliable brand, if you mix those three together, you can win the customer acquisition cost, which is one of the biggest challenges we're talking about.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Bousso from HolidayHeroes. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.